There we go. Hi, I'm Jay Skinner, and this is the pre-show for the Buyers and Sellers Show. And we're on every Friday morning at 10:35 a.m. Eastern Time. So this song, it's Christmas time, and I've got my tree, and I just played the beginning of a song. Sometimes you never hear this part of it. Does anybody know what this is the beginning of? I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Got one out there right now. I think we all do. I'm dreaming of a white. This is a pre-show, and I'm glad you're here. With every Christmas card I write, may your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. And we're live. I'm Jay Skinner, and I want to welcome you to the Buyers and Sellers Show. So folks have just jumped on here, and it's like, okay, here we go. Tom Ginn, my friend, good to see you. Tom says, wishing you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Absolutely. And he's in Wisconsin right now, -10. Wind chill is -30. Yep. Boy, I tell you, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold just like that in Indianapolis right now, too. Let's see who we got. Francisco Gonzalez. Oh, my friend in Mexico. So happy that you've come today to say hi. Thank you, Francisco. We've known each other for many, many years. And he is one of the top guys in the corrugated industry, manufacturing corrugated board in Mexico for a major firm. And I'm just proud to know you. So thanks for being here, Francisco. Good. And let's see, Randy's saying hi. Good morning. Randy has his own shows, and he's like a really smart guy. It's so nice to see you here, Randy. Thanks for coming by. So, everybody, the topic this morning is about the show. We are pushing right now. I'm almost at 2 full years of broadcasting. And let's see. Hi, Alyssa Wagner. Good morning. Glad you're here. Thanks for coming. And after 2 years of all this, let's see. Oh, I love it. Just everybody saying Merry Christmas. Hey, and Francisco de nada. It's like usted es mi amigo forever. And I thank you for coming again. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that song at the very beginning. I played White Christmas, and if you want to listen to that, you can go back on the replay if you missed it. Anyway, the topic today is about, the buyers and sellers show after 2 years. And the question becomes, does it need a remake? Do you have some suggestions on what we can do? Is there anything else in your mind that could be valuable to make this more valuable to you, to the listeners? And so this is a good time to just talk about that. And thank you very much, Thomas. There we go. And Alyssa, Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you very much. Good. So if you have any questions or comments about the buyers and sellers show, what we've been doing here, the idea was we're all either buyers or sellers in whatever we're doing, and some of us are both. If I have a business, I'm selling whatever it is I make or provide or distribute, and then I'm a buyer because I have to buy it and then maybe do something to it and redistribute it. And the difference there, increase the price and keep the difference. That's what we do in business. You buy low and you sell high, or you take raw materials and you convert them into something else. That's kind of the idea by it. So we're all buyers and sellers. And so I'm interested in your thoughts. You've been watching this show in particular, or you just have a comment. This is your first time here. I'm still interested in your comments because we try to make it interesting. Now, from a topic standpoint, we've been all over the board, but the idea is generally what can be beneficial to us in terms of our business life and work. And I tend towards a lot of project management stuff because of PDT, Project Development Team, the name of my company. And then you also see we get into topics like prospecting, presenting, closing. And then I've had about a half the time or a third of the time I have guests. And we don't do guests all the time because I have topics that I want to be sure that I can share with you directly. And but I do like to have guests and people. And when they're on this show, it's kind of funny because there we go. And it's like, there you go. Tom says, I would recommend having on a guest from time to time. And we do, Tom. Thank you. The guests range from people like let's see who we had here. Had Jeffrey Gitomer, of course, the King of Sales, and then we also have had some other people. Bryn Tillman, she's this isn't her title, but she's the queen of LinkedIn. Had Wendy Weiss. She's the cold calling queen. Lots of queens and kings. How about that? And then my son Eli's been on the show. We've had other people, and Ben. Here's a guy that I think one of these days we should have as a guest too, Mr. Ben Gay. Hello, Ben Gay. He has a rich history, and he's one of the few people living that actually mentored under. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Napoleon Hill. So Ben's kind of a big deal. And let's see, Tom says, good morning, Ben and Randy. And everybody's saying hi to each other. That's cool. And Thomas, again, he's somebody. I should have Tom on the show. We pick a topic and develop it for about 20 minutes like we do. So let's remember that, Tom. We'll get something going on that because Tom's got a lot of good things to say, and he's helped a lot of people. So the having guests is a good idea. I says about a third to half of the time. That's about it. I like to spend time on other topics. And then some of you may remember if you go to my YouTube channel, I'll just call it up. All the topics and all the shows that we've done have piled up there in a playlist. And so you can go down through that playlist. It's called, we're Jay Skinner, PDT Associates. If you just do @JAY Skinner, That finds me on the YouTube, and I'm live there. I got to turn that off before I get a bunch of feedback. But now you can see if you go to PD, you'll see the show right now live. But they all pile up, and the most recent one's on top. And then I've done theory of constraints. We've had the guys from Dub here, Rob Botts and Ruben. Um, Doug Wing, um, you know, of an assortment. Jim Cathcart, what a he's a legend. Tony Alessandra, he's also one, and uh, a number of people. Don Marmaduke, as we talked about, Ruben Dua, Dr. David Isaacs, John Wiley with local company here. So it's interesting, and then you look at the topics that are on there. You get in there and you see the topics, and you know that I also put banners up, and when I'm trying to express something that's important, and I have these what we call rules. There are rules, and what are these rules? Well, one of them is the silver rule, and that's do unto your vendors as you want your customers to do unto you. And my little rules is probably something you need to think about. But do unto your vendors as you want your customers to do unto you. And just think about it. If you're extending, um, like 90-day terms, you're trying not extending, but you're telling your vendors that you don't want to pay for 60 or 90 days, but you want your customers to pay in 30. That's a little disingenuous. Is that the right word? Hypocritical, even. I don't love that kind of stuff. I think you should have be treating your vendors well as your customers, and then when your customers are treating you bad, I don't know if you've heard the word karma. Are you getting back some of what you've been giving out? And I recommend that you take a look at that. Another rule that's big here on the show is called the green rule, and that's do for yourself what you're asking others to pay you to do for them. Now think about that. We talk, maybe you've heard the story about the cobbler that, he didn't have any shoes, but he made shoes for everybody else. It's like, that's a little hypocritical, right? And it doesn't bode well for your image with people. It's kind of like a guy that's selling Teslas and driving a Ford. It's like, whatever it is you're doing, you should be a partaker of your own product and use it. And then the other thing is that a lot of times you're shortchanging yourself because you're like really smart on how to help a customer build his business or how to help him get through certain problems. And we talk about a lean and Six Sigma and recently theory of constraints and ways to approach problems in your own company to make things better. And I work with as the CEO extender.com. You'll see my website out there. I work for business owners and I do projects for them that they just don't have time to get done for themselves, or maybe it's not in their wheelhouse, or they don't have people full time in their organization to do it. And I work like very part time, the equivalent of a day a week on their projects, and we work through it. And I look at the things I'm doing for them, and then I have to look, what am I doing for myself? Because I also have a plastic pallet manufacturing program and company here. PDT pallets. And what I do is I work with businesses that want plastic pallets and hook them up with plastic pallets that either I work as a distributor or a dealer, or in most cases, and the biggest part of my business is just designing and making brand new, beautiful, never been made before, extremely valuable plastic skids and pallets to work in their working process. And that's what I do. So it's got some more comments here. Let's see what people are saying. There we go. And Tom says he loves the rules. Great, Tom. Thank you. Thank you very much. Glad you like those rules. I was just have one here and I don't have it written down, but Tony Alessandra did the platinum rule. And that was do unto others as they want to be done unto. And I think we all know that. I know you know that one too. That's kind of, I would tell you, I know that rule and I understand how important it is. Sometimes it's like you just don't feel like doing it. You ever feel like that? It's like, I hate to say it, but um, we are in control of our relationships with other people. And there are times probably that we just let them go south on purpose. I'm not saying that's great to do, but I am saying it happens. Well, when you do that, you find that you're guilty of it or you've upset somebody, what do? You just apologize and do it better next time. Just got to keep moving on. That's what we do. So, as it relates to the buyers and sellers show, if you're watching the replay, then your comments would be welcome and I will catch them on the replay. But while we're live here, if there's any people watching right now that say, man, I have a comment or here's somebody I would really like to see on your show or something, or you got an idea of somebody I should talk to, that'd be good. I will tell you that I have coming up the Vice President of Strategy for AmericanEagle.com, Tim Elanius, and I got to know him. I hired with my client packaging systems. I hired American Eagle to do their digital marketing website and a lot of work, and I'm working with them on a long, big project. And I was originally turned on to them by watching. I was watching Fox News, and then I was on CNN, and then I was on like MSNBC, and I was looking at different news channels and noticing that their commercials were coming up a lot, and they had a long stretch of really funny ones, and that really got my attention. Now Tim's on there, and he's doing some that are more serious, but hey, they are serious. They're really, really good. It's a big company with like almost 800 employees. I mean, it's like your website company, many of them got one or two. These guys have like 800. They're huge. And it's called the Savannasini family. A guy named Norb Savannasini started the company and built it into something awesome and great. And you can actually go back a couple months in my shows if you want to see when I went to an event there, and I talk a little bit more about that. Okay, here's some other comments. Let's see. There's Mark Gassert says, "Hey Jay," and good, Mark. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming. He's partners with Tom Ginn. I mean, I got the whole family here, the whole group, the whole organization. And then Tom says, "Do what is right always, even when no one is around." And it's like, amen to that. I couldn't agree more. And Mark says, greetings from Peachtree Corners, Georgia. It's a bit cold today, 15 degrees. Looks like 15 degrees of fun. Oh my gosh, yeah, you guys aren't used to that kind of cold. And Tom and I are up here at minus 10. Holy smoke. Anyway, I'm glad you like those rules. And I'm interested in did I catch this? I don't want to miss this one. Yeah, Tom said this. That's like the definition of integrity, Tom. I like that. If anybody else has any comments and thoughts here, it's like Mexico's in the house. That was great, Francisco. It's like we worked together for many years on doing some projects and have great regard for one another. So again, just nice to see you here. There's a lot more people in that aren't commenting, and I am going to do this because I think sometimes people don't exactly know where to put their comments on these different platforms. Because where am I? I'm on 2 Facebook channels, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So it's a lot of places to be. So I'm going to write djskinner.com, which is the easiest way to get right into my company website and see everything that I do. And so I'm posting that up. And so now when I do that, it gives me something really cool here, because then you can see, okay, that's what it looks like if you're on Twitch, and that's what it looks like if you're on YouTube. I think this is what it looks like when you're on Facebook. Yeah. And so enjoy. When you talk about the buyers and sellers show, third of the time, guests, I riff on different topics, play some music here. My world comes from over 30 years of literally traveling the world. Biggest thing I did during that period of time was helping build Stratus Plastic Pallet Company, and we had customers all over on every continent except for Antarctica, and a lot of going out there and visiting people. And let's see, Mark's promoting. Thank you. That's right. Thank you very much, Mark. Let's see. How is that handsome guy? There you go. I'm sure he's fine. Oh, okay, there we go. Anyway, if anybody has any more comments or questions or thoughts, this is a good time to have them. And I want to, while we're at it, and just kind of closing this session down, unless something brand new comes up. Oh, he means, who is that handsome guy? Well, if you went to that website, you might have been seeing me, or at the very top of it, when you go to thejskinner.com, the very first page you go to is testimonials, and you see pictures of a number of people there that are doing video testimonials about me and my work, and that's kind of cool. So that top one that's just on the testimonial page is Patrick Tharp, Pat Tharp, the owner of Packaging Systems. And then who knows, you might have seen me in there too. And then you see Patrick Tracy, you see the Gittimers, you see a whole bunch of people. Anyway, does anyone have a question in particular or a suggestion for the future? I mean, one of the questions becomes, is it worth it? Is this a good thing to do? I kind of think it is. I mean, this has become a meeting place for some people, and I get comments from folks that say, oh, yeah, this is valuable to me. I get good stuff from this. And that's the kind of feedback I need. That's the kind of feedback I need, is like, okay, is this valuable? Am I doing anything for you? I know that my clients get on, oftentimes not live, but on the weekends, and they just catch whatever topics we're doing. And that's good. And then I also know that when I'm talking to customers or potential customers, and they have a particular topic that's important to them, a lot of times I'll just send them a link to one of my shows and say, well, here's a show, and you can, if you want to listen to me play at the beginning, great. If not, go up to the part where I start talking and putting up banners and going through an outline for about 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, talking about a particular topic. And it becomes a nice way for people to see me in action, so to speak. And at the same time, is very non-threatening. I always think it's easier just to go online and look at some of my shows and some of the topics I talk about and the website than it is to go face to face and then find out, And I was like, oh, I don't know, Jay. I don't think I like you. It's like, that doesn't happen very often, but it's like, it's a lot easier if you just do it online, and I never know. Oh my gosh, here we go. Some more comments. Tom says, absolutely great value, great fun, good relationship building, and a good relationship builder. Yep. I think that I see it that way too. And there's John Godwin. He says this. He says, among the things you can give and still keep are your word, a smile, and a grateful heart. That's a Zig Ziglar quote. John, thank you. Thank you very much. John, maybe you and I should talk too about getting on the show. If you're interested in doing something here, we ought to get a phone call going and see if that makes sense, because that could be fun. You certainly have some history that I'd like to hear about, and then whatever it is you're doing now, I'm sure it's interesting and exciting and cutting edge. So don't hesitate to give me a phone call sometime, and let's get to know each other better. Speaking of getting to know each other better, if you guys know Tanner Kirby's, he's somebody that's been on the show off and on in terms of comments and stuff from Turkey. And he's called me, and we're talking about his establishing his business in the United States. And he's already got a lot of the groundwork laid for that. But at the same time, we're talking more about possibly working together, because he's big in the same industries that I've been big in for years, flexible packaging industry and the folding carton industry. And we know a lot of the same people, and he's been doing it over there in Turkey and Egypt and in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, especially. It's like, and he's got great English. He's a smart guy. So who knows, maybe we can do something together. I'm looking forward to continuing our conversation this afternoon. So, everyone, I want you to please have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I will see you. I'll be on a week from now, just before New Year as well. And I don't know exactly what we're going to do. I got to be thinking about it, but we'll have a good show also. But while we're going off, I'll play us out. And this is a celebration that'll just be fun and everybody has a good time. Oh, and I do want to say, if you're looking for something to like donate to that would be like valuable and could help a lot, and you're thinking about something to do, especially year end or Christmas gifts, I am very active with this group called Christian Leadership Training International. Thomas, thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Christian Leadership Training International, CLTinternational.org, CLTinternational.org. And we just got done building a big Western style Christian school in Liberia, Africa. And that's when you see right there on the map, that's Liberia. It's in West Africa. All right, right about there. I've been there a couple times, looking at going again next year. And now they're building a big cafeteria and gym, but there's nothing like it in the country, and will ultimately hold about 1,500 kids. Last year, first year of it being constructed, they had 800 kids in it. It was great. And so if you're looking for something there, go to cltinternational.org, and you'll see the Christian school and a place to invest there. And I would encourage you to do that. And the president of CLTI is going to be here in the United States. Dr. Say Bohr has been a friend for many years, and we've worked together on all this. And I'm going to have him on my show probably March, April, something like that. And we'll recap the whole thing and the mission and what he's doing. And it'll be cool and interesting. In Africa, how about that? Anyway, everyone, Merry Christmas. I love you all. I'm so glad you came. Always mention, if I turn it off before I recognize your comment, forgive me, because there's delays on all this stuff. But I want to say Merry Christmas. Jesus is the reason for this season. And you know that he came, he was born, he lived a perfect life as an example for us. And when Easter comes, you know, I'll be reminding you of this. He was crucified, a sinless man, but he carried the sins and the burdens of the world on his shoulders for us, so that if we accept him, we can be saved as well. And that we receive forgiveness from Jesus and from God and the Holy Spirit, which is all the same. Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit loves you, will care for you, and will forgive you if you just accept them. Anyway, Joe, there we go. Last minute, there's Ron. Good. Merry Christmas and all of your business from rainy, windy New England. Thank you. Thank you, Ron. Merry Christmas to you. Okay, everyone, here we go. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing that sleighing song tonight. That's it. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Yeah, jingle bells, oh yeah, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one horse, even a two-horse. Heck, I'll take 3. I'll take 4. Open sleigh. See you next week, Friday, 10:35, every Friday, the Buyers and Sellers Show. Thanks for coming.